It's okay.
Absolutely.
Are you ready for that?
Ready.
88.7 The Bridge.
It's time now to go to Pat Pagano at Metro Weather
Awesome.
Central and find out what is
Good
happening.
job.
I told you.
Wow.
I told you. It's just the starting.
I don't know if you've listened to my show much, but I hit this hard.
Do you?
I hit this
Bless you.
hard. This changed my marriage. I've
Really?
been married 27 years. Good long time.
Yeah.
And I've read lots of books, and I read them, and I come away going, this is all Band-Aids on a
Yeah.
crushing heart wound.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
You know, this goes to the heart.
Who's the author there?
Dr. Emerson Eggers.
Emerson Eggers. We'll check that.
And in fact, this Sunday, I'll be starting an 8-week or 6-week Sunday school adult Christian education session using this
Awesome.
book
Fantastic.
and the Word, of course, in our church in Lewis. We're thrilled. We're totally thrilled. On day one, it was just introductory this past Sunday. I put out one little tidbit of information from there, again, biblically founded, but one little piece of information, and I've had 2 people already tell me that they already see their marriage from a different perspective.
Wow. Well,
That's
that's
great
good. That's good to hear that, because it lets, when I hear something like that, it lets me know that they are seeking to further or deepen
Right.
what we've encountered. It's kind of like the principle that Jesus, came to call all, and he said, the righteous, they don't want it. They think they're all right. And we've run into that probably the most, is that when you let people know, hey, there's some marriage helps for you.
We
They
have
said
a good marriage.
we're
Especially
we're
people who've been
strong
married
in
a
the
long
Lord,
time.
and okay, and I don't know if it works out to say it, when we come back on, but there was a. Go ahead. You wanna say
No.
something? We did a book signing at the Dover Mall, and we had an elderly couple come to the table, and then you can tell they're just, what's this all about? And so I said, well, this is a book that we've written. What kind of book is this? It's a book on marriage, and
Right.
and it's a just practical guide. Whoa, no. We've been married 52 years. We don't need a marriage book. Isn't that right, Thelma? Quit your whining and come on. And they just walked away
Right.
moping, and I'm just thinking, okay,
do need
52. Well, exactly. 52 years of what kind of marriage?
Right.
It's not quantity, it's
Right.
quality.
Right.
And so we just have that mentality. Well, we know what we're doing, and that's not, that's not going to help.
We try to also bring that up about, if they say that about marriage, well, it's like, once you get saved, why do you keep coming to church? Why do you keep reading the Bible? If you're already saved, you still need to learn, and you still need to grow, and you have to do the same thing in your marriage.
Right, marriage is not the ending; it's the beginning.
Right.
And so we need all we can get.
Yeah.
We need
I'm
all
with
we
you.
can get.
I'm with you.
Um,
I'm with you. I've just learned so much about marriage in the past, really 2 years, that I wonder what I've been doing the first 25. And we had a commitment. I gave my life to Christ about 7 or 8 years into our marriage, and at that moment, I committed to be married, and I've been begrudgingly doing that all along.
right.
I'm gonna stay married.
It's the last thing I do.
Through the teeth. Burn over you. Hard. It's only in the last couple of years that really my eyes have opened up to what else is out there, and it's much more beautiful and much more meaningful than I ever thought.
Exactly. And it parallels. It's just kind of scary how much it parallels our walk with God.
Mm-hmm.
How people have the mentality of, what can I get away with and still be saved? Okay, well, those are the ones who are not happily saved.
Right.
And it's the same in the marriages. What can I get away with and still be legally married? And those are the ones that are not happily married. So it's just, it's such a need.
Yep. I forgot to put the music back on, so the live feed was getting pure voice and no music to so all that was heard on the live feed probably.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
This is the real deal.
Yep. They get the inside scoop. Yep. We've had 11 views already. We have 2 currently watching. Hello, watchers.
Hey, say hi. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
And one of those is probably from New Jersey.
See if that gets anywhere.
One of the biggest things, and I mean, this may come out on, back on live feeding here, but the in particular Christian based arena, the churches, they've made marriage on the bottom of importance levels,
Right.
whereas you have 52 things going for the women's.
Since you're saying important stuff, I turned the music back off for the feed. So
Yeah.
as long as we're going to keep teaching, let's just keep
Important.
teaching.
That's one of the things that really it drives us, because the importance has been on many things happening for the singles, many things happening for the women.
Right.
Everything from Secret Sisters to to
Women of Zion.
Women of Zion and Prayer
Yeah.
Sisters and
Yeah.
Secret, and then you have men's prayer breakfast or men's
Yeah,
we're
I've been to the prayer breakfast.
but see, those
What I
things,
want is the men's weekly prayer fishing trip or
Fishing
something.
trip or
Yeah, that
hunting,
would
right?
be
Yeah.
that would be something. There's a ministry for the men right
let's
there.
pray before we hunt.
Yeah.
Lord, bless this.
Lord, let us help
Bless this moose.
help us kill these animals.
give us aim and target, focus. But when you see on the majority of churches,
10 seconds.
there's only one thing per year for marriages.
Right. Highland, this love is free. And those of you watching on the live video feed on Facebook, you're privileged to the between the song conversation, and it hasn't stopped, has it? There?
No.
No, I got to turn your mic on here. There we go. Mike Fox is in the studio along with his wife Trisha. It's Trisha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trisha.
And I'm not going to say Arianna. I'm going to say Arianna.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There you go. She's 5 years old and just about as cute as they get. And good job there, parents.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Not as cute as my 4-year-old granddaughter, though. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to say that ever. And we're talking about marriage and the importance of marriage, and there's some nut and bolt stuff, One thing my wife said to me, there's two things she scared me with. When we were first about to get married, just before we got married, she said to me something that really frightened me so much I almost joined the French Foreign Legion. She said, I am so looking forward to marrying you and discovering something new about you every day of our lives. I said, what are you talking about? Discover something new? I'm it. This is a one-trick pony, and you have just seen the trick. It's done. I got nothing else, And then later, after I realized apparently she didn't know everything about me at that moment, and she did learn more, and we're still learning about each other, which is cool. She scared me again when she said, I don't want to have one of those windshield wiper relationships where the husband and wife are going around doing their thing. She's doing her thing. He's doing his thing, but they're not connecting.
Not connecting. It's good.
Right. And that scared me, too, because I thought we were good.
Right.
Turns out we weren't, And then I've had to relearn, reevaluate marriage all along. And my eyes have been so opened up. I thank God so much for bringing me this book that I'm talking about. And then you've told me you've written a book. Now I got to go buy another book. Thanks a lot, Mike. But this book, Love and Respect, has really brought it down to the nuts and bolts for me. Tell me give me some things that you're going to be talking about Saturday. What are some things you're going to say to a couple? There's a lot of couples out there, Mike. We said this. They feel like they're in good marriages. Right.
And just like Jesus came to to seek all, what we run into is those that they think they're all right, but what happens is they live that way normally.
Right.
And they don't know the depth that they can get into.
Right.
By learning, what even more healthy marriage. And that's one of the things that we'll talk about is healthy and unhealthy marriages.
Mm-hmm.
And a few basic questions, do you do this? Have you said this? Do you think this? Then you may be in an unhealthy marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a difference between closeness and coexistence. In
Right.
fact, one of the definitions for coexistence is living peaceably together and that sounds like a good thing.
It sounds like people that aren't talking to each other.
Right. Well, it's it's what they use for nations that aren't at war.
Right.
And it's more than living together peaceably.
Right.
But
right.
see, a lot of going off what you're saying, a lot of couples, that's their life.
Mm-hmm.
We know personally many couples that are active in church. Currently they're on fire for the Lord, or active in ministry, but they're not close. They just live together in the same roof. In fact, one of the things that we'll be talking about is married yet living single.
Also, one of the things that we do in the we like to do different things to make it more exciting, break up the just straight talking in the conferences. So we try to do little illustrations and things like that. And one of the things that we do is with string, and we have both of them tie the string around their hands and to pull, and so they can feel each other pull on the string. And when you are close in your relationship, you can feel when there starts to become distance. You can feel that pull. But if you are far enough apart with the string, then you can't feel that pull anymore. And that's when you start to become in a dangerous place in your marriage, when you can't feel that pull anymore. You don't know when you're starting to become distant. You still think that everything is going fine, but you don't know that your spouse is feeling hurt. So you should feel that pull when your spouse is feeling something like that.
Right.
We brought out this scripture, which was placed on my heart regarding that, and the Bible talks about Samson. He wist not the day that the spirit hath departed. In other words, he didn't know the day, the hour, the moment that the presence of God left, because he didn't live his life feeling that presence and
Right.
that closeness.
Right.
And I so many couples, they live their lives as couples, married, and even in ministry, where they don't feel that closeness, and so they didn't even know the day or the hour or the moment that they started to distance in their relationship. They don't know what happened, when it happened,
Right.
and all that.
Right.
A few other things are communication, which is basic stuff.
Yep.
Differences between men and women.
What? There are differences between. What are you talking about?
Oh, physical, emotional,
Everything.
everything, everything.
Pretty
Wiring. Let's see how your past affects your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a biggie. That's a huge one. Learning about the needs of your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Many times we just it's one of the key things that you can do to enhance your marriage, and that's learning how to meet the needs of your spouse. And many times what we do is we meet the needs of our spouse the way we need them to be met,
Mm-hmm.
and neither people are participating in meeting their needs, and so nobody's needs get met.
Right.
I hear and I read all the time how it's a 50-50 thing, but that's not marriage math.
No.
Marriage math is 100-100.
Right.
Otherwise, neither needs are met.
Or even 150-150, because you got to give more to your marriage than you're
Exactly.
giving to your workplace. You know?
Exactly. And we deal with that in our book, and we'll attempt to deal with that at this conference. That marriage is your first ministry.
Yeah.
For ministers, for leaders, for those who aspire into any type of ministry,
Mm-hmm.
marriage is your first ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And we've lost track of how many leaders in the past 5 years or so, in between announcements and and something else frivolous, they announced their divorce, to large congregations.
Mm-hmm.
And people are surprised. Well, when did this happen? Well, it's been happening for a long time.
Right.
And a lot of leaders, they just they prefer image and reputation over marriages, over working out their marriage. And so
Right.
we deal with all kinds of topics.
And that's it's a free seminar. That's a lovely thing.
yeah, no registration fee.
No registration fee.
And I can't say who officially. I can't say who, but we are going to have donated food, and it's going to be great food.
Right.
It's a Christian-based food. It's a national chain type
Okay.
of thing.
So
But
it's an animal God created
yes,
that perhaps clucks. We don't know.
perhaps.
Okay.
I can't say.
It's hard to say. Yeah.
But unofficially. Can't.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you. And so